My fellow Guyanese, it must be recalled that when in opposition, Irfan Ali ranted and raved in the National Assembly and said the PPP will give public servants no less than 20% increase in wages and salaries.
We promise to increase the salaries of public servants by far more than 20%. By far more than 20%. Mr. Speaker, what about the nurses, the teachers, what about the police workers, the police officers? Aren't they equally important? Aren't they equally important? Mr. Speaker.
He now refuses to honor his own words and offers public servants a paltry 8%. His actions lead us to conclude that apart from being dishonest, the PPP is an anti-working class regime that is pushing public servants deeper into poverty. Rather than improving the lives of these dedicated workers, the PPP is focused on enriching its elite, friends, family, and favorites. While the PPP elite can live on their large salaries and the loot that they have stolen from Guyanese, the people can't afford to and are being punished. This paltry increase cannot cushion the high and spiraling cost of living. It is important to note that while poor workers who are earning $75,000 per month will get an increase of $6,000 per month or $72,000 per year, President Irfan Ali, with his more than $2 million per month salary, will get an increase of no less than $160,000 per month, which translates to $1,920,000 per year, a difference of $1,848,000. How unfair and uncaring. The president is giving the small man crumbs while they enjoy the entire bread. Public servants, this was the first budget partly funded by our nation's oil revenues. We know that many of you were hopeful that the nation had turned a corner, that public servants would now be compensated fairly for their long hours of toil and dedicated service. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We support your call for a living wage, as we know that 8% will not even keep up with the likely 10% inflation that we expect to see by the end of the year. It is worse when it is noted that the increase cannot cushion the sharply rising cost of living. In fact, it is not an increase, it is a political gimmick. The standard of living of our people will continue to deteriorate amidst an abundance of oil wealth. National budgets are about priorities, and the nation's first oil budget has shown us clearly that people are not the government's priority. This year's budget is 44% larger, yet your increase in salary is only 8%. Even further, the high oil price has gifted this country approximately $60 billion in unexpected oil revenue. This is approximately $300,000 per household. The money should be spent to ease the misery we face every time we go to the market. Less than 1% of the largest budget in this country's history was budgeted for cost of living mitigation. What a disgrace. We must also point out that the PPP says more in its silence than in its lofty promises. They have refused to mention the poverty and inequality that grip the nation. That is no accident. After all, no government could claim to want to uplift everyone while offering salary increases that are 12 times greater for those earning $900,000 than those earning the minimum wage. There is no justification for doling out over 800,000 in retroactive raises to the highest earners, while those most in need have to make do with pennies. In fact, the president will receive over $2.2 million as his increase this Christmas. The only explanation for such a callous injustice is that it is a continuation of the PPP's friends, family, and favorite policy. This cruel government is intent on rewarding those 3 F's, friends, family, and favorites, while maintaining a system of the working poor. This contrasts with the coalition's relentless effort to lift public servants out of poverty. The coalition government increased the public sector minimum wage by 77%. This was done without oil revenue. The coalition government gave public servants a 26% increase in 1 year. This year, we call for public servants to receive a minimum of 25% increase because we know it is possible and we want our workers to share in the nation's newfound wealth. This measly 8% might have been expected if Guyana didn't possess a drop of oil. Guyana is a rich country, and Guyanese will not allow the PPP to hoard the country's wealth for themselves through their usual corrupt activities and contracts to their elites, friends, families, and favorites. Under the coalition, public servants can expect regular increases that far surpass the rate of inflation, with the aim of ensuring their lives are comfortable. A critical component of our people-centered vision is the elimination of the working poor, the elimination of taxes from the working poor, and we will ensure public servants do not have to struggle to make ends meet. Further, we will eliminate taxes for public servants at the lower end of the income scale. Our track record shows we prioritize public servants because we appreciate their value to the nation. Clearly, the same cannot be said about this corrupt and uncaring PPP regime. I thank you.